Today I'm working on this PlayStation 2 that a viewer sent in. They say it doesn't work, so we're going to see if we can fix it. First things to do is test it out and see if they're right. Plug it in and see if it turns on. And we get nothing at all. No light, no power. So the next thing we need to do is take it apart. We'll need our Phillips head screwdriver for this. PlayStation does appear to be in pretty good condition. Yeah, not dirty, not gunked up. No fear of bugs being in here, which is one concern you always have with these. Though it has been opened before, which that's not too surprising. First thing to do is remove the screws. After removing all of those little pads, you can then remove the screws. And then with those screws removed, and this sticker already cut, the top should slide off. And, well, right away we can see why we don't have any light or power. This cable wasn't connected. So I don't know if that became disconnected on its own or if they just did not put it back properly, but they did mention that this might be the problem. We'll see if this cable is damaged. Doesn't appear to be damaged in any way. But it could be. Kind of in order to get this out, you need to kind of pry it free a little bit. With that. Pop. See that? You can just stick this underneath there and pop it out. And there's your power button. And now the easiest way to test is just to reinstall this. What do we get? We got nothing, so even with this plugged in, we're getting no lights. So I'm gonna let this be for now and turn my attention to the power supply actually. Which means we gotta tear this down a little bit more. Remove these two. There we go. Pop that up and then pop that out. Next are these two. And then this can slide up. This can slide out. From here, you can lift the entire console out of the chassis and the shell. And what I want to do is flip it over very carefully and get to this, the power board. We can remove that. And then carefully, just because it could still have power in it, especially if you've just plugged it in, want to pull it up. The pins are here that connect it to the board, so that's where it's going to be the tightest. So just pull it up and it should come free. There's your power board. For now. Okay, so here is our power board. And the simplest way to test is to plug this in take your multimeter, set it to DC if you have to, put it in these two opposites, and turn it on. And see that you get no voltage. No voltage there. You can move these around if you want. No voltage there. Nothing at all. So this is a dead power supply. Now, there's a few things we can do to see exactly what killed it, but I can already tell just by looking at this that that fuse looks burned. And putting our multimeter in continuity mode, where it beeps the connection, I'm willing to bet that this doesn't beep. It should beep. It should have a connection going through here. That's black. It does not have a connection. So no power is going from here anywhere. Pry this up. There you go. See if this will focus on it. You can see just how bad that is. So luckily, I might have a replacement for that sitting around here.
Turns out I did not have any replacement fuses, so I had to order some. And all you need to do is slide it back into position.
Still no. One thing I did notice is that this little piece here is kind of burned out. The only thing I want to try and do is just remove this piece, replace it, and see if that'll get it fixed. If not, it'll be new power supply board time.
In order to get that piece out, you should apply some flux to the pins and then come in with a copper wick and your soldering iron to wick away the solder. The flux helps the solder flow, and solder just loves to soak right into the copper. So this is the best, easiest, cleanest method of removing parts like this, especially through-hole type components. And just do the same thing to your donor board to remove that part as well.
Just gotta reinstall the new one. There.
And reattaching it's simple enough. Add a little bit of flux again and come in with a touch of new leaded solder.
All right. Nope. Nothing. So still nothing. From here, it's a new power supply board. Okay, we're back when we finally got the power board for this PlayStation 2 so that we can see if we can get it finally working. Here's our new power board, which, looks pretty generic, but it does get the job done, usually. It's a good idea to attach your switch first, makes it easier. Then this, so you got these area here, sliding right over that. Now, we pull out our little kit. And attach this just to hold it in place. And that really might be all you need to do to test it out. So
Let's put her back in the shell, just for safekeeping. And hopefully when we turn this on, we'll get a green light or a red light, and then a green light. Red light. Now it's open. Oh, it does. And look, Madden 2K5. Awesome. All right. Well, that's how easy it is to replace the power supply on your PlayStation 2. So I hope this video helps you out. I hope you learned something useful from it. And if you have a dead PS2, absolutely no power at all, very, very likely that it is that power supply board. They just tend to fail over time. A capacitor, dies, something else goes wrong. I'm not good at diagnosing what the issue is on the power supply board, but I am good at buying a new one and replacing that. It is, in some ways, the cheapest option sometimes because, I mean, it's like $15 for a new power board, which isn't that bad. Or you can spend an hour or two trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Is your time worth $15 an hour? Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to reassemble all of this, give it one good test, make sure it's actually reading a game disk and doesn't need to be cleaned or something else. And we'll get this back out to our viewer. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you in the next one.